What's up, my MTG friends, zealots, friends, colleagues? Why don't you jump off of that hamster wheel for a second and let's have a little fun right now. You, me, boom, boom, boom. Let's do a commander deck tech upgrade of Galea, Kindler of Hope. Right here. We got this one, yeah, that's right. Boom. Boy, I'm saying boom a lot in this episode. All right, Galea, Kindler of Hope. We're going to swap out a whole shizzle load of the actual pre-constructed cards and put in stuff that's just more spicy. Yeah, buddy. Galea, Kindler of Hope. Let's do this. Let's do this, y'all. All right, Vigilance may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast or an equipment spells from the top of your library. When you cast an equipment spell this way, it gains when this equipment enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. And notice the wording in this. It's if you do it with those mechanics, then you can equip it. So if it's in your hand and shizzle, that's just the regular way you attach equipment. But we do have other cards in this build that still does the same kind of stuff. So we got mostly equipment to lever with the commander. We got a bunch of auras in here. However, it's more for ramp. And then we actually have some thievery type spells because, you know, there is a blue pip in here. Yeah, we get to be bastards today with this. Finger licking good. All right. Back to the basics, y'all. Draw, control, protection, removal, equipmento. A little mini nice combo here. These two synergize nicely with each other. Some support. That's stuff that allows you to either play equipment and auras for less or, you know, do some shenanigans with the equipment or the auras. We got one card in here that's in the shenanigans category because it's got a place all its own, and I'll explain that in a little bit. We got the land, a couple combos, some nasty ones. We got this super funny little combo that is inspired by Zach. Shout out to Zach, who also did a commander deck tech for Siona, Captain of Pyleus. I think I said that right. So we'll go through that little cool combo as well. And we got some Tutor Actione and Rampalicious Rex. All right, and then the maybe board is mostly the cards we kick to the curb. Kick those cards to the curb, yo. And it's mostly just the pre-con cards that were suckalicious. Not great at all. By all means, though, I mean, no judgment for budgetary reasons. There's some you can keep in there and all. It's all good. It's all good in the hood, yo. All right, man, I'm yoing way too much today. All right, let's start in. Not yo. All right. Eidolon of Blossoms, 4-drop, enchantment. Ooh, enchantment. Enchantment creature. When Eidolon of Blossoms or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. So we got some draw action going. Esper Sentinel. Oh yes, it's still brand new, and you can go grab these for a pretty reasonable price. I recommend you go grab a couple of these. I anticipate these going in price, yes, unless they reprint the crap out of this. And Hasbro, Pop-Up Hasbro is known to do such shenanigans and crapola to us. Mesa Enchantress, 3-drop 0/2. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you may, that's right, draw a card because it's in the draw category. Pure Steel Paladin, 2 white 2/2. Whenever equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. And then on top of that, equipment you control has equip 0 as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. We should be able to pull that off. Should. Moving on. Rhystic Study, the card you love to hate and love at the same time. I mean, you can't hate on this card too much. You just got to hate the player. Rhystic Study, whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may draw a card unless player pays 1. He gonna pay 1? He gonna pay 1? How many of us have been in that situation? Gonna pay 1? It's like, shut the hell up already with your pay 1 internally. Keep it internal. Satyr Enchanter, 3-drop 2/2. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card. I mean, pretty straightforward, right? Right. Citizen Champion, I think I said that right. 3-drop 1/3. Constellation. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Citizen Champion and draw a card. Draw a card. You gotta pay one. Gotta pay one. Sylvan Library for 2. I mean, do I really need to explain Sylvan Library at this point? Okay, fine. At the beginning of your draw step, you may draw 2 additional cards. If you do, choose 2 cards in your hand. Draw this turn. For each of those cards, pay 4 life or put the card on top of your library. I mean, you've heard me say it in multiple episodes. Super broken, janky, awesome card. Put it in. Sithis Harvest's Hand in green-white. Legendary enchantment. Notice a bunch of these are enchantment creatures. That's going to have some relevance later. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you gain 1 life and draw a card. I love all this draw mechanic. Hammer of Nazan, our little mini combo or tutor or whatever you want to call it. Whenever Hammer of Nazan or another equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach that equipment to target creature you control. Boom! Equipped creature gets +2 and has Indestructible. Oh yeah, Ebole. And then it combos up real nicely with Nazan Revered Bladesmith. And let's see if we can get a non-foily looking one so it's easier to read. There we go. When Nazan Revered Bladesmith enters the battlefield, search your library for an equipment card and reveal it. Oh, guess which one we're going to reveal? Put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put the card into your hand, then shuffle your library. Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, you may tap target creature defending player controls. So it's just got like super fun little janky 2-for-1 card spell action going on. I just thought it was super cute and we should put it in here because it's fun and it's equipment related. So there you go. All right, Eldrazi Conscription. The reason it's in shenanigans category is because it is not actually an equipment. It's a tribal enchantment, Eldrazi Aura. Oh, and because it's an aura, you guessed it, folks, you can attach it to a creature with the commander mechanics. Enchanted creature gets 10/10 and has trample and annihilator too. This thing is awesome. If you pull this thing off, people are going to be super pissed at you. Whenever it attacks, defender player sacrifices 2 permanents. Yes, this is a very fun and janky card. I really love it. And if they weren't already irritated with you, you know, play against your friends, because if you play against people who aren't your friends, they're probably going to get irritated with you with this deck. But you know what? Hey, they're Magic cards. Everybody should be having fun regardless. You'll probably get a target on your back, though, if you start doing too much of this shenanigans all at once. Heliod Suncrowned combo with Walking Ballista. I've mentioned this combo multiple times. Basically, you get Heliod out there, and if you got 2 available mana, including 1 white down here, see, another target creature gains lifelink until end of turn. So you got that action going on with Walking Ballista. You drop that onto the battlefield, and then you got infinite 1/1 damage to their face. To the face, yo. Unless they have some kind of an interrupt. Old school word right there, interrupt. Ooh, yeah. All right, here's the other super jankalicious combo. So we get Siona, Captain of the Pilius out there. Whenever Siona, Captain of the Pilius enters the battlefield, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may reveal another card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. I mean, that's fine and dandy, cool. Yeah, maybe we can fetch something. Whenever an aura you control becomes attached to a creature you control, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. And then with enchanted creature has indestructible. When a creature enters the battlefield, you may attach Shield by Faith to that creature. So you create your first 1/1 human soldier creature, and then you go ahead and attach the Shield by Faith, which creates an infinite 1/1 soldier creature tokens. The board is as wide as infinity, y'all. And if they don't have an answer, that is game winneth by youeth. Yeah. All right, we are in some ramp. We're going to blast through the ramp real quick. Blast! Arbor Elf, so for a mana dork. Arcane Signet for a not mana dork, but a ramp mana rock. Any color of our stuff going on in our commander. Avacyn's Pilgrim, mana dork for white. We got a couple signets to just ramp up very nicely. Birds of Paradise, we know what that is. Fertile Ground for the aura section of it. This one gives you add an additional 1 mana of any color, which is super nice for 2. And we got Karimetra God of Harvest. This is the god that's indestructible as long as your devotion to green and white is less than 7. Karimetra isn't a creature. We, for the most part, don't even care if this becomes a creature. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may search your library for a forest or plains card, put it onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle your library. Just nice little ramp action going. Noble Hierarch. Oh, I cracked one of these in a draft, I think. That was super nice. Was I doing draft and double masters? Heck, I don't even remember now. It's got Exalted in the colors that we need. Yeah, buddy. All right, Sanctum Weaver for 2. Add X mana of any color where X is the number of enchantments you control, which should be more than 1, I would hope. I mean, yeah, it should be. And it's an enchantment itself. Just remember that. All right, another Signet in the colors we need. And the colors we need. Smothering Tithe. Just such a great white, dare I say, staple. Smothering Tithe, when an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. If the player doesn't, you create a colorless treasure artifact token you can crack for any color. Oh, again, you get to pull some Rhystic Study crapola. You gotta pay 2. You gotta pay 2. Gotta pay 2. Doop, doop, doop. All right, Soul Ring for 2. I mean, I don't need to explain Soul Ring, right? Utopia Sprawl for 1. Same kind of shenanigans with an aura. Whenever Enchanted Forest is tapped for mana, its control adds 1 additional of the chosen colore. Wild Growth, same kind of action. Whenever Enchanted Land is tapped for mana, its control adds an additional green. And it's an aura. Aura, equipment. All right, here's some funny stuff. I decided that in this particular build, we're not going to go so much for like control in terms of like counter spells and stuff. We're just gonna start snaking people's shizzle, and this is one of them. For 4, enchant creature you control, enchanted creature, and it's an aura. All right, and you know, okay, so I did at least add 1 Dovin's Veto, that if you need it in a pinch. I mean, we're not even running Mystic Study here, so we're not fetching this up. So although you could put in Mystic, you could. If you so desire. All right, this spell can't be countered. Counter target non-creature spell. And a total a-hole card for any commander deck. Your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. Boom, boom, all you reanimation crap going on. Trying to make creatures come out of your graveyard. Opponent can't cast them from anywhere but your hands. And their commander as well. Ha ha, he he. Ah. Grand Abolisher for a little control in white. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. This thing is just fun, had by all. Mainly just you. All right, Linvala, Keeper of Silence, more control. Activated abilities of creatures your opponents control can't be activated. That means you, all you elf tribal decks that keep tapping for crap. No. All right. Next up. Treachery. Another one. Whenever Treachery comes into play, untap up to 5 lands, which is super useful. You control enchanted creature. Yes, give me your big stuff, your awesome stuff, and bring it to my side. All right, we got equipment action going on. This one I put in just because it's hilarious. It's just hilarious. I mean, dude, a 10-10? That's funny. All right, just don't forget that if you have a flyer that it loses flying. Equipped for 8, but we have ways to tease this out and not have to pay that. So there you go. There you go. Godsend for 3. Equipped creature gets 3/3. Whenever equipped creature blocks or becomes blocked by one or more creatures, you may exile one of those creatures. Opponents can't cast cards with the same name as cards exiled with Godsend. That last part is completely irrelevant. Irrelevant indeed. All right, have Halvar, God of Battle for 4/4/4. It's a creatures you control that are enchanted or equipped have double strike. At the beginning of each combat, you may attach target aura or equipment attached to a creature you control to target creature you control. This is the side of this card we are most likely going to use. However, there might be an occasion where you decide you want to do the flip side, which Architect apparently doesn't like to flip them in the other part. So, equipped creature gets +2 and has vigilance. Whenever equipped creature dies, return it to its owner's hand. So there will be occasions where you use the versatility of this card for surezies. All right, but we're mainly going to be using this side. Me thinketh. All right, Nettle Cyst. Say that right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. 3-drop artifact equipment. All right, living weapon. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact and or equipment you control, and equip 2. Now, let's go through the living weapon part. Whenever this equipment enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 black Phyrexian Germ creature token, then attach this to it. So depending on what's going on the battlefield, you may choose to make it the living weapon or just flat on attach it somewhere. So there you go. But when you play it, it's going to create that 0/0 black. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. All right, rope. I'm sorry, I don't know what's up with me. All right, Robe of Stars, 2-drop. Equipped creature gets 0/3. Astral Projection for 2. Equipped creature phases out. This is a surprisingly powerful equipment card. I mean, to be able to phase out whatever you got going on, it almost creates like a Voltron situation. Treat it and anything attached to it as though they don't exist until its controller's next turn. I mean, that is amazing for board wipes. Hells bells, yeah. Bring it, you mass removal jack-offs. Did I say jack-offs? Am I allowed to say that? You're probably never going to call one of your opponents a jack-off because they're probably your friends. So, yeah. I'm going to leave that in this episode. Swiftfoot Boots for 2. Equipped creature has hexproof and haste. I mean, Swiftfoot Boots. There you go. And we purposely left the hexproof version of this instead of the shroud version because we want to be able to stack things on our creatures. Speaking of stack things on our creatures, Sword of Feast and Famine. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection for black and from green. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card and you untap all lands you control. Woo! Oh, man. I mean, we don't have a lot of spells that are X factor, so that part isn't as bueno-licious, but it's pretty awesome. And it has protection from black and from green. But if we want to fetch up another sword, like, oh, I don't know, fire and ice, we can have protection from red and from blue instead. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, Sword of Fire and Ice deal 2 damage to any target, and you draw a card. And just remember, when it says protection from red and from blue, the blue part will slough off your anything you have on a creature that's blue. Same with this, black and green. So green, you probably won't have anything that's green. And you most likely won't have anything with blue unless you've stolen one of your opponent's creatures. So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're doing these swords. All right, land. We're going to blast through land as quickly as possible because land, you know, is the most versatile and swappable part of this. Put target artifact card from your graveyard on top of your library. This can really help in a pinch. And then we got the pathways in, I believe, all of the colors where you can flip it, do blue or green. We got the, if you're playing with 2 or more opponents, untapped dual lands. More pathways. We got the shock lands in effect. We got the fetch lands in effect. Oh, was that a fetch land? Did I just like not read that? Oh, yeah. Okay, this one is the if you control 2 or more basic lands, which most likely. Command tower, I mean, yeah. Any color in our command. Wow, what is up with me today? Anything in our commander's colors. Yeah. Add 1 mana of any color that your opponents can. Fabled Passage, you crack it. If you have 4 lands, including itself, it comes in untapped for a basic land. Tutoring up for that. Flooded Strand, there we go. That's a fetch land. Fetching up some land. Oh, I just love this iteration of lands. We got a few forests in terms of the basics. Put target enchantment card from your graveyard on top of your library. So we got the enchantment action going on with this as well. More shock lands. The pathways. Yeah. Islands. More fetch. I mean, it's the normal package you would expect. I believe we didn't run any of the original dual lands in this. By all means, you can put those in there if you got them. Absolutamundo. Absolutamundo. And this is in our colors. You get it. You get it. You get the gist, right? And finally, we got Windswept Heath, which is another fetchy Fetcherson. And groovy. Yeah, groovy. All right, there we go. We blasted through that land package. All right, so now we got some protection in the form of creatures and not creatures. This one is great for anything that's enchantment related. Destiny Spinner, 2-drop out of Theros. Creatures and enchantment spells you control can be countered. That's it, you blue players. All right, 4 target land you control becomes an XX elemental creature with trample and haste until end of turn, where X is the number of enchantments you control. It's still a land. That's just an extra bonus. All right, we got Heroic Intervention. I don't like this version. Let's look at the other versions. I like the artwork of that. That artwork's cool. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Sterling Grove gives protections to your enchantments, except for itself. Gives it Shroud. And then for 1, you can sack it and search your library for an enchantment card, reveal it, then shuffle. Sometimes you end up needing to do that to go fetch something that's going to win you the game. And then, of course, we got Teferi's Protection, the most awesomest Maximus protection spell. Until your next turn, your life total can't change, and you have protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out. Mwah. Love it. Love that card. Cyclonic Rift, another card that opponents absolutely hate. Return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand, or do all of them non-land permanents for 7. Oh yeah, mama jamma. Darksteel Mutation. This one is super spicy, especially if you want to really hold up their commander action. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature is an insect artifact creature with base power and toughness 0/1 and has indestructible. And it loses all other abilities, card types, and creature types. So basically, it's just an 0/1 that just sits there indestructible. So unless it gets exiled, this thing just sits there forever. All right, Sword Supply Shares. Yep, exile target creature. Give him life. You got it. Wrath of God. Boom. Nothing funnier than wrathing something, having Teferi's Protection, and then just smiling. Be careful, though. Be careful how you smile when that happens. All right, we got some support cards. Ardenn, Intrepid Archaeologists for 3/2/2, Core Scout. At the beginning of your combat, you may attach any number of auras and equipment you control to target permanent or player partner. Yes. And notice it says to target permanent or player. So that's really versatile, especially with our couple thievery enchantments. And we got auras flying around. And it works very well in this build. Drannith Capuchin Paragon? I think I said it right. 3-drop, 2/2, first striker, vigilance, lifelinger, aura, and equipment spells you cast cost 1 less. Yeah, that's right. That is definite support in this build. Leonin Shikari, 2-drop, 2/2. You may activate equip abilities anytime you could cast an instant. So that gives us extra versatility to move some equipment around for blockers, for attackers. I mean, that's just hilarious. You got attacking, you got a sword on, you decide to switch it to another creature. Make them really have to think about what you're going to do. What you gonna do, y'all? Woo! Mantle of the Ancients, 5-drop. All right, enchant creature you control. When Mantle of the Ancients enters the battlefield, return any number of target or equipment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to enchanted creature. Whew. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to it. Open the vaults. It is a spendy card in terms of mana, but return all artifacts and enchantment cards from all graveyards to the battlefield under their owner's control. So be careful what you're going to bring back in your opponent's graveyard, but for the most part, this is going to really help you and hinder them. Farizzle, especially if there's been a board wipe that includes enchantments and artifacts. Sigarda's Aid. For 1, you may cast aura and equipment spells as though they had flesh. Whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach it to target creature you control. Oh, the hammer? Hammer time! Hammer time! Hammer time! Alright, Armored Skyhunter for 4, 3/3 flyer. It's a cat knight. What an interesting artwork on that one. Whenever Armored Skyhunter attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put an aura or equipment card from among them onto the battlefield. If an equipment is put on the battlefield this way, you may attach it to a creature you control. Put the rest of those cards on the bottom of your library in a random order. I mean, you get it by now. You know what we're up to with this. You know what we're up to. Tutor up some, we're in tutors. Tutor up a artifact or enchantment put on top of your library at instant speed, which is why those things are spendy relatively financially, and so awesome. Heliod's Pilgrim for 3/1/2. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an aura card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. Love that card in draft. Good. Open the armory for 2. Search your library for an aura or equipment card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. Stoneforge Mystic. I mean, you didn't really think we were going to do an artifact build without Stoneforge Mystic, did you? Whenever Stoneforge Mystic enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an equipment card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. And for 2, douche duo, you may put an equipment card from your hand onto the battlefield. Yeah, Stoneforge Mystic. Yeah, it's gotten a lot of hate over the years, but you know what? So what? Stonehewer Giant for 5, 4/4 Vigilance. For 2, search your library for an equipment card and put it into the battlefield. Put it onto the battlefield. Attach it to a creature you control, then shuffle your library. There we go, folks. There we go. This is a fun build that you will have lots of fun to play. Galea, Kindler of Hope, thanks for tuning in, y'all. And wow, I made it this far without saying, hey, subscribe if you're new. And if you made it all the way to the end here, you are awesome. We appreciate you actually giving a rip roar about what we're up to. We got lots of fun things coming to the channel in the real near future. We're going to keep doing Commander deck techs. If there's one you want to see, let us know. And if there's non-deck tech stuff you want to see, let us know. Thanks for the